Hello everyone. How are you all, my lovely students? So welcome back to the amazing session of Animal Kingdom, and we have successfully completed the phylums of non-Chordata, the phylums which are coming under the group non-Chordata. From Porifera till Hemichordata, all the phylums we have already discussed. So if you have not seen those videos in which I have discussed from the starting of the animal kingdom, basis of classification, and then I have continued talking about all the phylums back to back from Porifera till Hemichordata. Alright, so if you have not seen those videos, if you have not understood those phylums, please go to this channel and just please check them out, alright, and try to understand them. Then today in this session we are going to understand the last phylum of animal kingdom, and that is Chordata. Alright, so now let's start with the phylum Chordata. So first of all, you should have a mind map of the Chordata, because Chordata phylum is not just like other phylums, right? Chordata phylum has a lot of information, and there are different types of animals which are found in phylum Chordata. Alright, so first I will start with the difference between the Chordata and non-Chordata. In the 10 phylums previously, we have not seen few things we have not seen in them, few features we have not seen in them, which we are going to see in this phylum Chordata. But we have already talked about a very important structure. Can you tell me in the comments? That is the basis of saying an animal a non-chordate or chordate. Whether an animal is a non-chordate or chordate, what is the basis for that? Yes, tell me in the comments. Those who know, please tell me in the comments what is the basis of saying that this animal belongs to the phylum Chordata. Yes, anyone? Alright, so I hope you know that, and that is notochord, right? What is that? That is notochord. We have already discussed that. That is notochord. So C-H-O-R-D, chord. If this structure is present in an animal, then that animal will be chordate. C-H-O-R-D, chordata, right? So in the phylum Chordata, all the animals are having notochord, alright, and in the non-Chordata, none of the animal is having this structure notochord. Let me again revise. This notochord is a mesodermally derived structure, is a rod-like structure, is a mesodermally derived rod-like structure, and it is present on the dorsal surface of chordates only. This notochord is found in chordates only. So let's start discussing the phylum Chordata, everyone. So now, can you see this figure? If you can see this figure, this is clearly explaining four features, right? The very first feature which we have already talked about is notochord here. The very first feature which we have already talked about is notochord, beta. So you can see this notochord, but you can also see above the notochord there is a structure known as nerve cord. Everyone, there is a difference between nerve cord and notochord. Nerve cord, we have seen nerve cord again and again. I have told you in the previous phylums, double solid ventral nerve cord, double solid ventral nerve cord, isn't it? Yes, please tell me in the comments. So do you know that nerve cord is present in non-chordates as well as chordates, but there are differences. But the other three structures which you are seeing here in the chordata, they are not found in non-chordata. Notochord is not found in non-chordata. Post-anal tail, post-anal part is not found in non-chordata. Gill slits are not found in non-chordata. So these three features are only and only present in chordates. Nerve cord is a feature which is present in both, but there are differences. So if we talk about the first structure, second structure, third structure and fourth structure here, let us see the differences between the non-chordata and chordata. Let us see the differences between chordata and non-chordata, everyone. So what is the first feature we are talking about? We are talking about notochord. In chordata, notochord is present. In non-chordata, obviously it is absent. Second structure I have marked there is nerve cord, right? Is nerve cord. And now you can tell me by looking at this figure is of NCERT, it is a very, very important figure. So can you see nerve cord here, the second structure? Can you see that this nerve cord is single structure which is hollow from inside? See, this is hollow. This is hollow from inside. If you can see, there is a space within. So this is hollow from inside. Can you see the space? So this is a single structure present on the dorsal side, alright, present on the dorsal side, and it is hollow from inside. So you know about non-chordate, you know that the non-chordate nerve cord is double, solid and ventral. That you know already. If in non-chordates the nerve cord will be present, it will be 2 in number, double. It will be solid from inside and it will be on their ventral surface. But if you will see nerve cord here in the phylum Chordata, you can see easily that it is, tell me everyone, it is single or double? It is single. It is solid or hollow? It is hollow. It is hollow. And it is present on the ventral side or dorsal side? It is present on the dorsal side. So both of these structures, notochord as well as nerve cord, what are the similarities? Both are present on the dorsal side, beta. But you have to remember which one is ventral to another, right? For example, I will tell you exactly which line you have to note. See, nerve cord is ventral to, dorsal to notochord, or you can say that notochord is ventral to nerve cord, because notochord is present below the nerve cord, right? What you can remember? Either you can remember that notochord is present notochord is this structure, beta. This is a rod-like structure. This is a rod-like structure, notochord. This is a single rod-like structure, notochord. So this notochord is present ventral to the nerve cord. So in this structure you can remember easily that notochord is present below the nerve cord. If it is present below, as you can see it below the nerve cord. Alright. So otherwise you can also tell that nerve cord is present. Nerve cord is this. Nerve cord is dorsal to notochord. Nerve cord is dorsal to the notochord, because you can see here that it is present above the notochord. Nerve cord is present above the notochord. Notochord is present below the nerve cord. Are you understanding this point? So I hope this point is very, very clear to everyone. Now we have talked about notochord and nerve cord. Now talking about the gill slits, which is the third structure you can see here, gill slits. So you can see this is the pharynx region. This is the alimentary canal, beta. This is the alimentary canal. From here to here, this is the alimentary canal. This is the mouth of the chordate animal. This is the anus. That is why post-anal part. In this part you can see this part is after the anus. So this part is post-anal part. That is why post-anus, right? So here you can see the mouth will open into the pharynx region and these gill slits are present in pharynx region. So these are also known as pharyngeal gill slits. These are also known as pharyngeal gill slits and they are paired. So paired pharyngeal gill slits are present in chordata but they are absent in non-chordata. Coming to the fourth structure is post-anal part or post-anal tail. It is also present in chordata but absent in non-chordata. I will talk about the fifth structure as well. The fifth structure is heart. I am going to talk about heart. Obviously you cannot see here but you should know. Do you know about your heart? Yes? Tell me by sending heart in the chat. Do you have heart? So your heart is on the ventral side, right? Your heart is on the ventral side. But if it is present in non-chordates, it will be on the dorsal side. They are carrying on their back, right? They are carrying their heart on their back. So heart is ventral here. Heart is ventral here in chordates. But heart if present, it is not necessary that it is present in them, but if present then dorsal. Alright everyone. So these are the chordate characteristics which you can easily understand by using this figure. So let us see, NCERT is also telling the differences. Let us see what are the differences NCERT is telling you. All the same differences in chordates, notochord present. In non-chordates, notochord absent. So here it is present, here it is absent. Central nervous system. So now some people will get confused. Ma'am has talked about nerve cord. Here they are talking about central nervous system. Beta, your central nervous system is formed by your nerve cord only. So now you have brain, you have spinal cord. This is representing your central nervous system and that is formed by the nerve cord, right? So here this central nervous system represents nerve cord. So what is the nerve cord in chordates? It is single, it is hollow and it is dorsal. Here the nerve cord is double, solid and ventral. Pharynx is perforated by gill slits here, whereas gill slits are absent in non-chordates. And just now I have told you that if you have heart, you send me your heart in the chat box and tell me whether it is ventral or dorsal. So here your chordates and your heart is ventral and the non-chordate heart is dorsal. In bracket they are also writing if present, alright. Post-anal part is present in chordates, it is absent in non-chordates. I will tell you one more point. Do you know about the respiratory pigment, everyone? What is the respiratory pigment which is present in us? Please tell me in the comments. Please tell me in the comments if you are watching this video, and please hit the like button if you are liking the video, right? If you are understanding the topic, please hit the like button. Alright everyone, so let's continue. Respiratory pigment. Respiratory pigment in us is hemoglobin. In other animals it can differ. So respiratory pigment in chordates, always it will be found in the cells. In chordates, respiratory pigment in chordates present in the cells. So in which cells our respiratory pigment is present, beta? RBCs. But if it is present in non-chordates, it will never be present in the cells. It is found in their plasma. Our respiratory pigment hemoglobin is present inside the RBC. Do you know? Do you know about our respiratory pigment? This is RBC, and inside the RBC hemoglobin is present. This is hemoglobin. Our RBCs are enucleated. We don't have nucleus in our RBCs. Alright, when the RBC is formed, it is formed with a nucleus, but then the nucleus is removed. Why? Because hemoglobin should be there, which will help in the transport of gases. So for that particular function, RBCs, they loses their nucleus. So inside the RBC, our respiratory pigment is present, but in non-chordates, the respiratory pigment will be found in plasma. So that was an additional point. Now, if you have understood the chordate characteristics, the 4 characteristics are very, very important, shown in the figure. Let me talk about the classification of phylum Chordata. Very, very important. This mind map you have to keep in your mind. Alright. So now, Chordata. Chordata is a phylum first of all. In this phylum, you know, there are 3 subphylums which I have already told you. Those 3 subphylums are uroChordata, cephalochordata, and beta, where is Vertebrata? Vertebrata. So, the first subphylum, the second subphylum, and the third subphylum. So, basically, 2 subphylums are coming in one group, and the third subphylum is coming in one group. So that is why in the phylum Chordata there are 2 groups. Alright. In the first group 2 subphylums are coming. In the second group 3rd subphylum is coming. So you have to remember in Chordata there is uroChordata, there is cephalochordata, and there is Vertebrata. First of all, you have to remember these 3 subphylums. Then you can tell in the first group these 2 subphylums are coming. This group is acraniata or protochordates. What is the meaning of acraniata? Acraniata, they do not have cranium. A means absent, craniata means cranium, brain box. Your brain is enclosed in the box, in a protective box known as cranium. But in protochordates, we are vertebrates. In our brain is covered by the brain box, present inside the brain box. But in lower chordates or protochordates, proto means primitive chordates. These were the chordates which have come first. Then vertebrates came. Alright. So they lack brain box. They lack brain box, or you can say cranium. And one another important feature about protochordates, they are exclusively found in marine water. They are exclusively marine. If you remember the non-chordate phylums, 3 phylums I have told you exclusively marine: Ctenophora, Echinodermata, Hemichordata. After Hemichordata, uroChordata and cephalochordata are coming first of all in the chordate phylum. They are also exclusively marine. Alright. So they are only and only found in the marine water. So these 2 features you have to remember. And in craniata you can simply write they have brain box or cranium. They have brain box. Brain box is present in them. Their brain is enclosed in the cranium or brain box. Alright. So you have understood till now, right? You have understood that in the phylum Chordata there are 3 subphylums. 2 are coming in one group, 1 is coming in another group. Alright. Now let us talk about the subphylum Vertebrata. This is over. The first group is over, in which 2 subphylums are present now. That is over. The subphylum Vertebrata, it has further division beta. So if you will see, there are 2 divisions here. One is Agnatha and another is Gnathostomata. The main feature, alright, the main feature upon which we are saying that the animals are agnatha or Gnathostomata, that main feature is jaw, this jaw. So if they do not have jaw, they are known as agnatha. But those who have jaw, they are known as Gnathostomata beta. So here it is written that they are jawless. Agnatha are jawless. In Gnathostomata it is written jaw is present. Jaw is present in them. Alright. Now, in agnatha there are two classes. There were two classes actually, but we don't have to read this class. We don't have to study this class. Ostracodermi. It has been extinct. Alright. It has got extinct. So we have to study only one class, and that is Cycleostomata. Very, very important. So how we have to proceed in the phylum Chordata? We will first talk about uro and cephalochordata. Then we will talk about Cycleostomata directly. Alright. So when we are done with the Cycleostomata, we are done with the agnatha. Cycleostomata are the only living members of agnatha. Cycleostomates are the only living member of agnatha. They are also known as jawless fishes beta. They are also known as Cycleostomata. I am writing about Cycleostomata. I hope this is visible. I hope this will be visible. Yeah. So Cycleostomata are also known as jawless fishes, and these are the only living representative of agnatha, jawless. That is why jawless fishes. They are not true fishes. True fishes comes in the Pisces. I will talk about Pisces next. So they are not true fishes, but they are commonly called as jawless fishes. Alright everyone. So you have understood till Cycleostomata. Now coming to the Gnathostomata. In agnatha we have to study one class, that is Cycleostomata. These are the classes. These all are the classes. In Gnathostomata there are so many classes. So that is why these classes we have grouped into super classes. So you can see two super classes. One is Pisces and one is Tetrapoda. In Pisces all the fishes will come, and in the Tetrapoda all those animals which will come which have four limbs, F-O-U-R 4, not F-O-R-E 4, which have four limbs they have. Alright. So amphibia, reptilia, aves and mammalia, all these have four limbs, or else you can say two pair of limbs, right? So they will fall under the superclass Tetrapoda, and in the superclass Pisces there is one class, that is Placodermi. It is again extinct. So wherever you will see dermi means extinct. It has got extinct. Same, extinct. So we don't have to study Placodermi. We only have to study Chondrichthyes and Osetichthyes, cartilaginous fishes and bony fishes. Alright. Then there will come superclass Tetrapoda, in which we will study amphibia, reptilia, aves and mammalia. Let me make it simple for you if you are not understanding. Let us see, let us revise it again. Let us revise it again. Alright. So I have told you Chordata. Chordata is a phylum, right? This is phylum Chordata. In phylum Chordata there are two groups. Right? These two groups are First group is acraniata. Acraniata is also known as protochordates. Alright. Second group is craniata. So these are the two groups. In acraniata or protochordates, there are two subphylums. There are two subphylum. One is uroChordata and another is cephalochordata. And this is beta over. Keep it aside. Alright, keep it aside. Coming to the craniata. In the craniata, there is only one subphylum. There were two subphylum. So total how many subphylums are there in the phylum Chordata? 3 subphylums. In craniata, there is just one subphylum, which is Vertebrata. I will tell you why they are known as vertebrates, why they are known as urochordates, why they are known as cephalochordates. I will tell you everything. Now in Vertebrata, there are two divisions. One division is agnatha, jawless. Another division is gnathostomata. Gnathostomata means they are jawed. They are jawed vertebrates, they are jawless vertebrates. Now in agnatha, there is just one class we have to study, and that is beta Cycleostomata. We have to just study the class Cycleostomata, circular mouth they have. Coming to Gnathostomata, in Gnathostomata, directly class will not come, two superclasses will come first. So there are two superclasses. Above the class, superclass are there. So two superclasses, one is Pisces and another is Tetrapoda. One is Pisces, another is Tetrapoda. So in Pisces, we have to study two classes. We have to study, alright. One is Chondrichthyes, cartilaginous fishes. Another class is Osetichthyes. In Tetrapoda, we have to study four classes. We have to start from amphibia, reptilia, Aves, and lastly mammalia. These are the four classes we have to study under Tetrapoda. So I think now I have made it simple for you everyone. Are you able to understand this? Chordata, protochordate and craniata, acraniata or craniata. Two subphylum, Euro and Cephalo, only one subphylum, Vertebrata. Now let me talk about Euro and Cephalochordata more. Euro stands for tail, Cephalo stands for head. So in uroChordata, see in all the chordates, I have told you na, notochord. So let's understand about the notochord in every phylum. In phylum uroChordata, notochord is present only in larval tail. That means it is not present in adult, it is just present in larva, that too only in its tail. It is not present in rest of the part of the body. Cephalochordata, notochord is present. Notochord is present from head to tail. From head to tail throughout life. Throughout life. Persistent throughout life. So, if notochord is present, in them and it is persistent throughout life, then we can tell cephalochordates are the ideal chordates, beta. Cephalochordates are the ideal chordates. Ideal chordates. Ideal chordates. So now you got to know uroChordata, Cephalochordata, Vertebrata. Which are the ideal chordates? Cephalochordates are the ideal chordates. Alright. So we are done with the classification. If you will remember this classification, then only it will be very easy for you to understand the phylum Chordata. So now we are going to talk about the uroChordata and Cephalochordata. Let's quickly discuss the important features of uroChordata and Cephalochordata. Just now I have told you about the notochord. I have told you that it is present in tail of larva. And here I have told you that notochord is present from head to tail and it is persistent throughout life. Throughout life. One more thing about uroChordata, they are also known as tunicates. They are also known as tunicates, beta. Why they are known as tunicates? Because their body is covered with a test or tunic. Tunic which is made up of tunicin. It is a kind of protein only. Alright. So tunicates, as their body is covered by test or tunic made up of tunicin. This is the reason they are named as tunicates. This is the reason they are named as tunicates. So why they are known as tunicates? Because of the presence of this test or tunic made up of tunicin. I hope you have understood this point. Alright. Now talking about a very interesting thing, that is larva. Larva here, if you will see the larva of urochordates. If larva is present, that means they show which type of development, everyone? They show indirect development. If larval stage is involved, that means they show indirect development. So yes, larva of uroChordata is motile. Larva is motile, whereas adult is sessile. That means larva is more advanced or adult is more advanced. I have talked about this thing already in case of Echinodermata when we have talked about symmetry. Do you remember the symmetry of Echinodermata? Those who remember the symmetry of Echinodermata, please tell me in the comment section. So Echinodermata larva has which kind of symmetry? Bilateral, advanced symmetry. And Echinodermata adult has radial symmetry. That means retrogressive metamorphosis. Again I am telling you here, this is a type of retrogressive metamorphosis. Retrogressive metamorphosis. Larva is more advanced than adult. Larva is motile, adult is sessile. No difference here in Cephalochordata. Both adult, both larva and adult are motile. So no difference is found here, but here this difference is there. Now we have already talked about circulation. I have told you already, in uroChordata it is open circulatory system, whereas in cephalochordata it is closed circulatory system. That's it, you have to remember about the circulatory system. In respiration, so I have told you gill slits, so they will be present. Here gill slits will be present, since they are chordates, they have gill slits. Here also same gill slits. For excretion, they have neural gland. They don't have kidneys, they have neural gland. And here for excretion, they have protonephridia. Where else you have seen protonephridia or solenocytes? Tell me in the comments. Where else you have seen protonephridia and solenocytes, or solenocytes in which phylum of non-chordate you have seen protonephridia or solenocytes? Tell me in the comments. Talking about reproduction, in both of them reproduction is going to be the same. So they both show sexual mode of reproduction. They both are dioecious, that means sexes are separate in them, and they show external fertilization just like Echinodermata and Hemichordata. External fertilization, but the development is indirect development. So this is going to be same for both of these, both of the uroChordata and cephalochordata. And now you can remember the examples here. Examples are Ascidia. You can see Ascidia here. This is Ascidia. Salpa, Doliolum. These are the examples of uroChordata. Branchiostoma, Amphioxus or lancelet. They are the common names. So three names are there, you have to remember these three names, but the animal is just one. Branchiostoma, you can see here, Branchiostoma, Amphioxus or lancelet. It appears like this. Okay. So I hope you have understood uroChordata and cephalochordata, everyone. If there are any doubts, you can tell me in the comments. Alright. So now we are done with the protochordates or acraniata, and we are done with the two subphylum. Now we are going to talk about the third subphylum, that is Vertebrata. Alright, they have vertebral column. So I have already discussed this with you. This is from the NCERT, subphylum Vertebrata, two divisions, Agnatha, Gnathostomata has jaw, Agnatha lacks jaw. One class we are going to study Agnatha. So now we are going to study Cycleostomata first of all. Cyclo means circular, stome means mouth, so they have circular mouth. This is the very first feature we can understand by the name itself. Now in Pisces and in Tetrapoda, so you have to understand there are two superclasses in Gnathostomata. One is Pisces, another is Tetrapoda. Pisces bears fin and Tetrapod they bear limbs. So Pisces are fishes, the true fishes. Tetrapods, this is the next superclass. Now we have to cover two classes in Pisces and four classes, amphibia, reptilia, aves and mammals in tetrapods, right? Tetra means four. In Tetrapoda there are four classes. Alright. Now starting with the Cycleostomata first of all. These are the NCERT points you have to remember. All are ectoparasites. I have already told you that they have circular mouth. This I have already told you. They all are ectoparasites beta on some fishes. All are ectoparasites. Alright. They are dependent upon the other fishes. They are not free living. just like phylum Platyhelminthes and Aschelminthes. In those phylums we have seen parasites, but those were endoparasites, and here they are ectoparasites. So cyclostomates are those kind of animals which are agnatha, they don't have jaw, and they are ectoparasites. They have an elongated body, you can see. Their body is elongated with very important 6 to 15 pairs of gill slit. You have to remember this number, 6 to 15 pair of gill slits. So gill slits I have already told you, that is a chordate character, but how many in number? 6 to 15 in number. They have a sucking and circular mouth. I have already told you, without jaws. Circular mouth, sucking and circular mouth. Body is devoid. Devoid means lack of scales and paired fins. Paired fins are, if you will see in Pisces, after that you will see Pisces, alright, you will see Pisces. So you will see paired fins. This is pectoral fin and this is pelvic fin, alright, dorsal fin, alright, anal fin, like that. This is caudal fin. So many fins you will see in them, and they have lateral line sense organs like this. So pectoral fins and pelvic fins you will see. This is pectoral fin, pectoral fin. This is pelvic fin. This is, you can see, dorsal fin. Alright, this is caudal fin present on the tail. It is of two types. So we don't have to go in that much detail, but the pectoral and pelvic fins, they are the paired fins. They are the paired fins in Pisces. I am talking about the Pisces here. You will see a true fish will have this kind of body structure, streamlined body, you understand? Just like the shape of ship. What is the shape of a ship? What is the shape of an aeroplane? An airplane will reduce the resistance of the air. The ship will reduce resistance of the water. So basically a streamlined body they have in the fishes. They have streamlined body and they have fins, various kind of fins. So fins you understand. So now here you have to understand fins. They don't have paired fins. Can you see paired fins here, beta? You cannot see paired fins. So devoid, lack of scales and paired fins. Now talking about the cranium and vertebral column, very important. They have cranium, brain box. That is why they are under the craniata. Vertebrata is under the craniata. So cranium is present. Vertebral column is also present. We have vertebral column, backbone. What is vertebral column? Backbone. Backbone. Have you heard of that song? Hardy Sandhu, alright. Cranium and vertebral column are cartilaginous. That means they are made up of cartilage. Cartilage. What is cartilage? This is cartilage. Tip of nose, cartilage. So cartilage you understand? Connective tissue. Circulation is closed type in Cycleostomata. Marine but migrate for spawning to fresh water. Very important point. They migrate. They show migration. And this kind of migration has a name. This kind of migration is known as anadromous migration. Anadromous migration. And this is shown by the petromyzon, lampreys. It is shown by the lampreys. The myxine, hagfish, it is not showing any migration. It will not show migration. It is exclusively marine. It is exclusively marine. You can write these points in your NCERT if you are having NCERT, because all these points are of NCERT and you have to remember just these points. So now, if you can see here, I have written anadromous migration means they live in marine water but for the spawning purpose, but for the reproduction purpose, they go into the fresh water. Now, there is a line which has came in the question that a lamprey starts its life in marine water, starts in life in fresh water and dies in fresh water. Also dies in fresh water. So what is written here? If you will read the next line of NCERT, after spawning, they were living in marine water. They have migrated to fresh water. For what? For spawning. You understood this? Alright. Now they have migrated to fresh water for spawning. So now their life has started in the fresh water only, na? The new lamprey, the larva will be forming. It's now the larva when it will become adult, it will again come back. It will again come back to the marine water. So now this adult, when it wants to reproduce, it will again go back into the fresh water. This adult, after the breeding, after the spawning, after the copulation, it dies in the fresh water. It dies, right? So that is why it is written, after spawning, within a few days they die. They die. Khatam. Okay, gone. They die. Their larvae after metamorphosis return to the ocean. So parent has gone. Now sibling has formed. Sibling will come alone. Parent will not come. Adult lamprey is gone, died into the fresh water, it died. So they have started their life in fresh water and they dies in fresh water. This line once came into the question. So they were asking that whether it is true or false. Justify the statement. So this is the line, after spawning within a few days they die. The larva after metamorphosis, what is the meaning of metamorphosis? Larva is changing into the adult. Then it will come back to the ocean, means marine water. There are two examples. Petromyzone is lamprey, myxine and neomyxine, they are hagfishes. So hagfishes are not showing any kind of migration, they are exclusively marine. But these two lines are for the lamprey. This is not written in NCERT, but it is actually about the lamprey. It is not about the hagfishes. But since lamprey comes into the Cycleostomata class, so that is why they are writing this important information under the class Cycleostomata. So we are now done with Agnatha. We are done with Agnatha. Now we will come to the Gnathostomata. So I hope you have understood this. Now in the Gnathostomata there is Vertebrata, right? In the Vertebrata there is. So let me come back. Agnatha we are done, Cycleostomata. Gnatha we have to do. Alright. So, but first of all, let us discuss few points about Vertebrata. We are studying Vertebrata now. We have studied uroChordata and cephalochordata, right? And now we are studying Vertebrata. So in Vertebrata, we have already studied Agnatha, Cycleostomata. Now we will study Gnathostomates. Before that, I forgot to tell you some of the vertebrate characters. So now, vertebrates, they possess notochord during the embryonic period only, and then this notochord will be replaced by vertebral column. This vertebral column can be cartilaginous or can be bony. So in Vertebrata, Agnatha and Gnathostomata, in Gnathostomata, pisces are there na, fishes are there na, two types of fishes are there, cartilaginous fishes, bony fishes. In cartilaginous fishes, cartilaginous endoskeleton. In bony fishes, bony endoskeleton. So the vertebral column is formed by the notochord. Vertebral column can be cartilaginous or bony in the adult. So that means all the vertebrates are chordates, but all the chordates are not vertebrates. Why? Why all the chordates are not vertebrates, beta? Because the two subphylum uro and cephalochordata, they don't have vertebral column. Because uro and cephalochordata, because of uro and cephalochordata. In uro and cephalochordata, they do not have vertebral column. That is why all the vertebrates are chordates, because they have notochord, but all the chordates are not vertebrates, because in some of the chordates they don't have vertebral column, so they are not vertebrates. Alright. Now, basic chordate characters. What are the basic chordate characters? You will see heart in them, you will see kidneys in them, and you will see paired appendages in them. So heart can be 2-chambered, 3-chambered, 4-chambered. I will tell you in the fishes. If you will see in the Pisces, 2-chambered heart. In the Pisces 2-chambered heart. 2-chambered, in all the Pisces 2-chambered heart. In tetrapods the chambers will increase. In amphibia and in reptilia 3-chambered. In Aves and Mammalia 4-chambered heart. 3 and 4-chambered heart. So that is why it is written in Vertebrata. In Vertebrata there will be heart 2-chambered, 3-chambered or 4-chambered. Kidneys for excretion and osmoregulation. Not only for excretion, kidney will help in osmoregulation as well. Osmoregulation I have told you already when we have discussed the non-chordate phylums. In Aschelminthes, in Platyhelminthes, I have told you in Platyhelminthes flame cells were helping in excretion as well as osmoregulation. So osmoregulation meaning is maintenance of the water and electrolyte balance. Let me write it again for you. Osmoregulation is maintenance of water and electrolytes or water and salts. Paired appendages may be fins or limbs. So it will be fins in the Pisces. In the Pisces it will be fins and it will be limbs in the Tetrapoda. That is why in Vertebrata we have two superclasses in Gnathostomata. In Vertebrata under Gnathostomata we have two superclasses based upon the fins and limbs. Alright, Pisces and Tetrapoda. So now we can start with the superclass Pisces, everyone. We have started with Chordata, we have completed uro and cephalochordata, then we have come to Vertebrata. In Vertebrata there are two divisions, Agnatha and Gnathostomata. We are done with Agnatha because in Agnatha there is just one class, Cycleostomata. Now coming to Gnathostomata, we have two superclasses, Pisces and Tetrapoda. So first of all we will talk about Pisces, and in Pisces I have told you two classes. I have told you Chondrichthyes and Osetichthyes. The very first feature is cartilaginous and bony fishes. Chondrichthyes are cartilaginous fishes, Osetichthyes are bony fishes, beta. Alright, so here it is written cartilaginous endoskeleton and bony endoskeleton. They are marine, but Osetichthyes will found in marine as well as fresh water, both. They are bony, na? Bony fishes will be found in both type of water, marine and fresh water, but they will be found in marine water only, and they both have Osetichthyes, Chondrichthyes as well as Osetichthyes, they have streamlined body. Streamlined body I have told you, a body like aeroplane or ship to reduce the friction. Alright, now they have ventral mouth. Ventral mouth, you understand? We have ventral mouth. If our mouth is present here, that means that is terminal. at the end, at the tip, terminal. So, Osetichthyes have terminal mouth, Chondrichthyes has ventral mouth. Gill slits, we have seen gill slits, a chordate characteristic. So, gill slits are present but without operculum. Operculum is what? Operculum is cover or lid. So, they don't have operculum but they have operculum. 4 pair of gill slits covered by operculum. Very, very important line. 4 pair of gill slits covered by operculum. Now, if we talk about Chondrichthyes, which type of scales? Placoid scales. Placoid scales. Fishes have scales on their body. Here, the type of scale is different. They can be cycloid or ctenoid. Beta, scales have different structures. Alright. So, depending upon the structure of scales, we have different names of the scales. Here they are placoid scales. Here they are cycloid or ctenoid. You have to just remember this term. Alright. You don't have to go into the details. Now, fishes have air bladder. But those fishes which do not have air bladder, they have to constantly swim. Constantly swim to, basically, you will say, ma'am, they are present in water only, so they are swimming only. No. They can sink. Sink means you will say, ma'am, they are already sinked into the water, na? No, beta. I want to say that if they want to be present at a certain level continuously for a specific period of time, if they have air bladder, they will not go down that level. So, if they don't have air bladder, they will sink. That means they will go down to that level. Alright. So, in Chondrichthyes, there is no air bladder. No air bladder. Air bladder is absent. So, they have to constantly swim to avoid sinking. But they have the benefit of air bladder. That is why which regulates buoyancy, and that is why they are not sinking. They don't have to swim constantly. Alright. Heart, I have told you two chambered. Cold-blooded. What is the meaning of cold-blooded? These are the same characters, no differences. Cold-blooded means the animal cannot maintain the constant body temperature. Cold-blooded means they can't maintain constant body temperature. They will change their body temperature. C for cold, C for change. Or there is another name, poikilotherms. They are poikilothermic, means they cannot change, they cannot maintain. They will change their body temperature. Whatever the body temperature of the outside environment, that will be the body temperature of them. They cannot maintain a constant body temperature. They will change their body temperature according to the temperature of the environment, right? Sexes are separate. In them. In both of them, sexes are separate. That means they are dioecious, unisexual. But if we talk about the fertilization, it is different. Internal in cartilaginous fishes, external in bony fishes. In cartilaginous fishes, there is a copulatory organ which is present in the males. So, clasper is a copulatory organ of male which is present in cartilaginous fishes. It is not present in bony fishes. In both of them, development is direct, no larval stage, and these are the examples. So, the very first difference is marine, both marine and freshwater. Cartilaginous endoskeleton, bony endoskeleton. Ventral mouth, terminal mouth. Gill slits without operculum, with operculum. Which type of scales? Placoid scales, cycloid or ctenoid scales. Air bladder absent, air bladder present. Heart same, cold-blooded, both of them. Sexes separate, same. Fertilization different. internal fertilization, here it is external fertilization. Direct development, direct development. Mostly viviparous, mostly oviparous, very important. They directly give birth to the young ones, they lay eggs, oviparous. Ovi means they lay eggs. So bony fishes lays eggs, alright, whereas cartilaginous fishes, they directly give birth to their young ones. So viviparous. These are the examples you have to remember because they are given in NCERT. So scoliodon, dogfish, pristis, sawfish, carcharodon, great white shark, trigon, stingray. You must have seen them if you are watching the Discovery or Animal Planet channel. So you must have watched few of them, right? So now that is the last point, examples. Coming to the examples of Osetichthyes, since I have told you they are marine as well as freshwater, so you should remember which of them are marine and which of them are freshwater. Sometimes the direct question they are asking is, they are giving 4 options and they are asking which of them is not marine or which of them is not freshwater. Alright. So marine, Exocetus, hippocampus, it is shown in the figure. You can see hippocampus here. You can see hippocampus, seahorse, you must have seen. I have seen so many times obviously in TV only, I have not went for a sea diving, alright. But yeah. So it is marine only, hippocampus and Exocetus. Exocetus looks like a flying fish. Hippocampus, seahorse, I have shown you seahorse. It looks like a horse in the sea. And now talking about the freshwater fishes, rohu, you must have heard of the common names rohu, katla, magur, labio, rohu, catla, clarius is known as magur. And there are some of the aquarium fishes which are very good to see in the aquarium because they look very nice in the aquarium. Betta is fighting fish and Phylum is angelfish, alright. So these are the major differences between the Chondrichthyes and Osetichthyes. Now some specific points are given for the Chondrichthyes. That means notochord is persistent throughout life in them. Throughout life notochord will be persistent in them, alright. So they are those chordates in which notochord is persistent throughout life, alright. Now teeth are modified placoid scales. I have told you na in Chondrichthyes placoid scales. So their teeth are modified placoid scales which are backwardly directed, and they are predaceous. That means they always eat the other animals. They always eat the other animals. They are predators. Like if you eat chicken, chicken will be the prey for you and you will be the predator. Alright. So that is why they have powerful jaw. They are coming in the jaw vertebrate only, na? They are coming in the Gnathostomata only, na? And they have very powerful jaw. So due to this powerful jaw, they are predaceous, and some of them are having some specific organs. They are electric organs. Example, torpedo. Torpedo have electric organs, and some of them have poisonous sting. They will with the help of that sting, they will release the poison. Example, trigon. So trigon and torpedo are also included in the Chondrichthyes. So these are some of the specific points which are present in the Chondrichthyes, and we cannot study them as a difference. But the points which I have written here, these are the point of differences, right? So you have to remember them like this. Coming to the examples, you have seen these are the cartilaginous fishes. So you should know how to distinguish them. This is a dogfish, scoliodon, dogfish, pristis, sawfish, pristis. This is hippocampus, seahorse, and this is catla. Catla is a freshwater fish, hippocampus is a marine water fish. Coming to the Tetrapoda. Now, you should know Tetrapoda. Tetra means 4, poda means limbs. They have 2 pair of limbs. 1 pair, 4 limbs. 1 pair, hind limbs. Now, second point, they show pulmonary respiration. Before this superclass, all the animals we have seen, all the chordates we have seen, they are living in water or on land? They are living in water. But tetrapods are the first type of animals in which we have seen pulmonary respiration, because they have come on land, and when they will come on land, then they will use their lungs. So they have lungs. So pulmonary respiration is by the use of lungs. All right. Then they show their skin is modified for aerial exposure, exposure to air, exposure to the environment, terrestrial environment, aerial exposure. All right. So there are how many classes are there? There are 4 classes. Tetrapoda is a super class. Tetrapoda is a super class, beta. And there are 4 classes in Tetrapoda. These 4 classes are amphibia, dual life vertebrates, reptilia, creeping or crawling vertebrates, aves, flying vertebrates, and mammalia are those vertebrates which have a unique feature, that is mammary glands, milk producing mammary glands. So now we can write amphibia. Amphi means dual life vertebrates. They are the first vertebrates to invade land. First vertebrates to invade land. Which are the first vertebrates which has come on land? Amphibia. Reptilia, they are the creeping vertebrates. They are the creeping or crawling vertebrates because of their mode of locomotion. Creeping or crawling mode of locomotion is seen in reptiles, lizard, snake, you have seen, right? So creeping or crawling vertebrates. And very important point I will tell you in reptiles, they are the first successful land vertebrates. They are the first successful land vertebrates. What is the reason behind that? The reason is, there are 2 main reasons. The first reason is they have amnion. So they are amniotes. Amnion is present. What is amnion? Around the embryo there is a protective covering which is known as amnion. So they are the first amniotes. Pisces, amphibians, they are anamniotes. Amnion is absent in them. Second reason is internal fertilization, beta. Internal fertilization. So when they will show internal fertilization, then the chances of survival of the young one will be more, right? In the external fertilization, the after the zygote, the structure which is forming is embryo or larva, right? So the chances of survival are not that much, because in the external medium so many different animals are there and they can feed upon that structure, right? So internal fertilization is more safe than external fertilization. So due to internal fertilization and due to amnion, reptiles are the first successful land vertebrates. Coming to the aves, they are the truly flying. They are the truly flying bipeds. Truly flying bipeds. Why bipeds? Why bipeds? Because their forelimbs have modified into wings, alright, and their hind limbs, they are using just their hind limbs. So hind limbs are 2 in number, right? One pair, that means 2 in number. So bipeds. So if you will see, if they are walking, they are using their hind limbs only. So that is why they are truly flying bipeds. And we will talk about the further features specifically in Aves. In Mammalia, they have mammary glands. They have presence of mammary glands. Mammary glands are the milk producing glands in them. So let's talk about Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves and Mammalia in a difference manner, in a form of differences. Alright, so I have made a beautiful table here so that we can memorize the important points of all these 4 classes: Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves and Mammalia. If we talk about amnion beta, just now I have told you that amnion is a protective covering around the embryo, right? It is seen in reptiles. So amnion is absent in Amphibia and it is present in reptiles, it is present in Aves, it is present in mammals. If we talk about skull, the skull can be of 2 types. Skull can be of 2 types. It is monocondylic, and it is dicondylic. If you know about your skull, it is dicondylic. How come it is dicondylic? There is a bone here at the back side, that is occipital bone. If it is attaching to the vertebral column, to the first vertebrae at 2 points, so 2 condyles are there. So 2 condyles means dicondylic. Alright, let us suppose this is the occipital bone and which is getting attached, this is occipital bone and this is getting attached at 2 points in the first vertebrae. This is the first vertebrae. This is the first vertebra. This is the first vertebra. And it is the bone of the skull, occipital bone. So here you can see 2 points. If it is getting attached at 2 points, then these are the 2 occipital condyles. These are the 2 occipital condyles. So whenever there is only 1 occipital condyle, monocondylic, whenever there is 2, dicondylic. Alright. So now the skull is in Amphibia and mammals, it is dicondylic. It is dicondylic. In us, we are what? We are mammals. So in us it is dicondylic. So just relate that we and amphibians have one similarity, our skull is dicondylic, but in reptiles and mammals it is monocondylic. So I hope you have understood monocondylic and dicondylic. The animals which have amnion, they are amniotes. The animals which do not have amnion, they are anamniotes. These are amniotes. So which are the first amniotes? Reptiles are the first amniotes. If we talk about exoskeleton, let us talk about us. Our exoskeleton is our skin. Yes, beautiful skin on which we used to apply moisturizer and all. So this skin is ectodermal in origin. Ectodermal. Alright. So if the exoskeleton will be found in Amphibia, that will be mesodermal. If present then mesodermal. But in case of reptiles, Aves and mammals, it will be ectodermal. It will be ectodermal. Talking about the kidney beta, most advanced kidneys are found in amniotes. Amniotes are reptiles, birds and mammals. So we have metanephric kidney. The most advanced kidney is known as metanephric kidney. Metanephric kidney. The most developed kidney is metanephric kidney, which is found in all the amniotes. So in anamniot, amphibians and fishes are anamniots. In fishes also there is no amnion. So they have mesonephric kidneys, and we have metanephric kidneys. If we talk about renal portal system, let me tell you that there are 3 types of portal systems. 3 types of portal systems. First is hepatic, second is hypophyseal, and third is renal. Hepatic, hypophyseal and renal. So there are differences in renal only. Hepatic and hypophyseal are present in all gnathostomates. So renal, it has differences. So let us see, renal portal system is present in amphibians because that kidney is not that much developed. In reptilia and aves also it is present, but it is reduced. And it is completely absent in case of mammals. Cranial nerves. How many cranial nerves we have? Amniotes, 12. But in case of anamniotes, there are 10 pair, not 12, 12 pair. So we have 12 pair of cranial nerves, but anamniotes have 10 pair of cranial nerves. If we talk about heart, I have told you na, chambered heart is present in vertebrates. So 2 chambered heart we have seen in fishes. In amphibians, there are 3 chambered heart. 3 chambered. 1 ventricle, 2 auricle. Now ventricle is half separated in case of reptiles. So this is actually 3.5 chambered, but we will tell this 3.5 as 3 chambered only because this is not completely 4 chambered. There is exception, that is crocodiles. And in case of birds and mammals, 4 chambers. Completely 4 chambered heart is present. Complete double circulation is seen. Alright. Talking about the RBC, now the RBC is, in mammals you have to learn, in mammals we have biconcave, round and enucleated RBC, but in others they have oval, biconvex and nucleated RBC beta, nucleated RBC. So till here. Talking about the next feature. Next feature is sexes. They are separate in all. Sexes are separate. That means all are unisexual. Fertilization, you have to remember about amphibia. It is external fertilization, and you have seen the fish-like larva of the amphibia, tadpole, fish-like larva. Yes, so that means if larva is forming, that means indirect development. So others are showing internal fertilization. That is why I have told you in reptiles we have seen first vertebrates which are successful land vertebrates because of the internal fertilization, and then development will be direct. Coming to their VV or oviparity, they are oviparous or viviparous. So the mammals are viviparous, they give birth to the young ones, but the others are oviparous, they all are oviparous. If you want to know about cold-blooded or warm-blooded, I have told you fishes are cold-blooded. Amphibians and reptiles are also cold-blooded. But birds and mammals are warm-blooded. What is the another name for warm-blooded? Warm-blooded are also known as homeothermic. So in this way you can easily remember about the important features of all the 4 classes of Tetrapoda together. This is the best way to understand and remember the important features of these 4 classes. Now let us talk about the specific features, everyone. If we talk about the specific features of amphibians, you have to remember that their body is divided into head and trunk. You can see the head part and then you can see the trunk part. Tail, can you see in this figure tail? So tail may be present in some, but it is not present in all, right? Their skin is moist beta, very important. Skin, the point of skin is also very important. So they have moist skin and they don't have scales, without scales, alright. They have eyelids they have. In fishes they don't have eyelids. Their eyes are covered with a nictitating membrane, but they have eyelids. They have external ear, they don't have external ear, and the tympanum, eardrum. Do you know what is tympanum? Tympanum is eardrum. So the tympanum represents the ear. External ear is not present. Tympanum represents ear. In the mammals only you will see the external ear, pinna. Alright, in them tympanum. Now they have a very important structure known as cloaca. You will find cloaca in them. So 3 different tracts are opening into one common chamber. That common chamber is known as cloaca. Alimentary canal, urinary and reproductive tract. These 3 different tracts are opening into one chamber. Alright. Respiration is by gills, by lungs, by buccopharyngeal cavity also, buccal cavity or buccopharyngeal cavity, and also through the skin. So they show cutaneous respiration, they show branchial respiration, they also show pulmonary respiration and respiration through the buccopharyngeal cavity. So the respiration in all the classes is also very important. So in the rest 3 classes the respiration is going to happen with the help of lungs. But here in case of amphibia you are seeing gills, skin, lungs as well as buccopharyngeal cavity. Now coming to the next point is examples. Bufo, commonly known as toad. Rana, frog. You can see Rana here. This is frog. This is Rana. Rana tigrina. Hyla is tree frog. Salamander. You can see Salamandra. Salamandra is the scientific name and Dar is the common name, right? Ichthyophis is limbless amphibian. This you have to remember. Important example. So these are the specific features of amphibians. Let's look at the specific features of reptiles. They are mostly terrestrial beta. Their body is dry and cornified. Why cornified? Cornified means rough. Alright. Dry and cornified, and they have epidermal scales. Epidermal means they are ectodermal. Scales are also known as scutes. They also have the same point. Tympanum represents ear. They have 4-chambered heart in case of crocodiles only. This is the exception. Otherwise they have 3-chambered heart. So 4-chambered heart is present in crocodiles. This is the exception I have written here. Otherwise I have told you here in the table specifically that they have 3-chambered heart. In reptiles 3-chambered heart. So what is the exception? Exception is there which I have written here. So this is the exception, crocodiles. Now you know snakes and lizards will come in this class and they will shed their skin. They will shed their skin as skin cast. Rest are the examples. You can see this is chameleon. You can see chameleon beta. Chameleon. This is crocodile. This is chelone, turtle, chelone, and this is naga. Actually it is naja, but the actual pronunciation is naga. So this is the snake, cobra. Alright, so these are the examples you have to remember. Chelone is turtle, testudo is tortoise, chameleon tree lizard, calots garden lizard, crocodilus crocodile, alligator alligator, hemidactylus wall lizard. You will find this in your homes. Yes, in your houses you will find this hemidactylus. You must have given certain name to the lizards of your home. Yes or no? Sometimes they are becoming your pet. Alright. Poisonous snakes you have to remember. Cobra, krait, bungarus, vipera, viper. Coming to the next class, Aves. They have unique features because they are flying now. So that is why they have feathers, wings. They have wings and they have feathers. So mostly they will fly, but there is exception, flightless birds. So you have to remember ostrich. Ostrich has a huge body and it cannot fly, right? Forelimbs are modified into wings. I have already told you. That is why they are using their hind limbs for walking, swimming, clasping the tree branches. Their skin is also dry without glands, but at the base of the tail they have oil glands or uropygeal glands Uro means also tail, pygium means also the posterior end. So uropygeal glands. Very important point, crop and gizzard are the additional chambers in the digestive tract. Crop will help in storage of food. This is just like our stomach, storage of food, whereas gizzard will help in grinding or crushing of food. Now respiration is there by the help of lungs, but with the air sacs. Air sacs are supplementing the respiration, helping in the respiration. Air will be filled in the air sacs. Alright, but these air sacs are avascular. Our air sacs are vascular. Alveoli, air sacs are present within our lungs. They are vascular. Alright, but here they are avascular. Examples: corvus, crow; columba, pigeon; psittacula, parrot; struthio, ostrich; pavo, peacock; aptenodytes, penguin; neophron, vulture. So all these are the examples of birds, aves. Coming to the figures given in NCERT, you can see this is neophron, vulture. You can see the struthio here, that is ostrich. You can see psittacula, parrot, and you can see pavo, peacock. Alright. Next we will talk about the mammals beta. Mammals. Mammals are found in variety of habitats. Everywhere you will find them. They are omnipresent. Omnipresent means they are found everywhere. Polar ice cap, desert, mountain, forest, grassland, dark caves, everywhere you will find them. Some of them you will see flying, some of them you will see live in water. For example, you know about the bat. Bat is a flying mammal. You know about the great white, this Balanoptera, whale, not great white shark, right? This is Balanoptera. So, Balanoptera, blue whale is it lives in water. So, flying, swimming, right? So, what else? So, you will see them live in water, you will see them flying. They have mammary glands, very important, unique feature. They have two pair of limbs for walking, running, climbing, burrowing. They are doing everything with the help of their limbs, swimming, flying, all these kind of functions. Their skin is also unique. We have hair. We have hair on our skin, yes or no? Then we have external ear, that is known as pinna, external ear. This is the external ear, pinna. And we have different types of teeth. We have different types of teeth: incisors, canine, premolars, molars, heterodont dentition. Heterodont dentition. Alright. Then we respire through the lungs, pulmonary respiration. Let me tell you some more points. We have Haversian system. We have Haversian system in the bone. We have Glisson's capsule. Our liver is covered with a connective tissue covering known as Glisson's capsule. So these are other structures which are only and only found in the mammals. Now coming to the examples, why I have highlighted the oviparous mammal, because I have written viviparous in the mammals, but there is an exception of Ornithorhynchus platypus. This is beta oviparous. It lays egg. Others are viviparous. Macropus, kangaroo, pouched mammal. It keeps its young ones into the pouch. They have pouch in their body. Pteropus, flying fox. Camellus, camel. Macaca, monkey. Rattus, rat. Canis, dog. Felis, cat. Elephas, elephant. Equus, horse. Delphinus, dolphin. Balanoptera, blue whale. Panthera tigris, tiger. Panthera leo, lion. So, lion and tiger belongs to the same genus, you can see here. And I have shown you the figure. This is Ornithorhynchus. This is oviparous. 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 It lays eggs. Ornithorhynchus. So you have to remember this. Kangaroo. Can you see? Pouched. It is a pouched mammal. It is a flying mammal, bat, pteropus, and Balanoptera whale is living in the water. Alright. So this is all about the mammals. And lastly, you can see this table in your NCERT. I have already shown you this table, which includes all the important features of all the phylums of animal kingdom. Starting from Porifera till Chordata, you can see. Starting from Porifera, you can see the basis of classification features, some of the physiology and the distinctive features. You can read it on your own from the NCERT. So today we have discussed everything, each and everything of the phylum Chordata, including all the important NCERT points. Still, if you have any confusion in any of the point you are not understanding, you can always tell me in the comments. I will be there to help you out. Alright, so here in today's session we have successfully completed the animal kingdom. Alright, so keep on revising, stay focused, and all the best for your NEET preparation. Thank you one and all. Bye bye, take care, God bless you.